Taiwan's Navy shows off the latest additions to its fleet. Google opens a new AI hub in Taipei, the largest of its kind outside the US. Markets rally as Nvidia announces huge quarterly earnings, but is it enough to quell fears of an AI bubble? Plus, 2 people have been arrested in South Korea after a ferry ran aground with hundreds on board. A warm welcome to Taiwan Plus News. I'm Leslie Liao. Weeks after China unveiled one of the world's most advanced aircraft carriers, Taiwan is opening its hatches to the public. It's showcasing 2 of its newest warships and the cutting-edge technology behind them. Alan Liu reports.
It's all hands on deck on one of Taiwan's newest naval vessels. On display as part of an open base event in Kaohsiung. The country's first domestically built rescue ship is equipped with an underwater drone, a dive bell, and a decompression chamber.
以往我们旧型的救难舰，它船上没有配置这些潜水钟与控制室。那现在我们船上就有这些装备，我们只要出海集结人员的时候，等人员集结完，我们就可以实时出海做水下搜索。
But it hasn't all been smooth sailing. In February, during a training mission, improper handling damaged the ship's propulsion system. This is the Dawu, which is open to the public for the very first time. It entered service last October and is mainly tasked with rescue missions. But here's another vessel that's also grabbing attention. The Yushan, it can do rescues as well, but it has a much wider range of capabilities. The military says it built the Yushan as a long-range amphibious troop ship. It's designed to take cargo and soldiers from sea to shore after covering long distances. Be it resupplying Taiwan's outlying islands, humanitarian relief, or disasters response, the vessel has some special features to help it in its role.
两侧的5吨及30吨吊车，可依任务需求，将码头物资吊挂至飞行甲板，或开启地上的动力舱盖，将物资吊放至下层乌槽甲板装载。功能性及机动性更胜一般货物商船。
The military is showcasing these ships as tensions rise with China, which threatens to take Taiwan by force. Vessels like these are part of the efforts to keep pace using asymmetric solutions that capitalize on Taiwan's geographic strengths. But coming just weeks after China brought another aircraft carrier online, it looks to be rough seas ahead. Fu Hua Hong and Alan Liu for TaiwanPlus.
Officials and defense experts say a planned industrial park in southern Taiwan could become a hub of innovation for drones.
我们绝对可以把民雄这个园区变成第2个竹科，让无人机产业变成我们国家下一个能够在世界上崭露头角。
The park is a collaboration between the Jiayi County government and the National Zhongshan Institute of Science and Technology, Taiwan's military research center. It's projected to host 100 companies from all stages of the drone supply chain. The project will include cooperation with other democratic countries, something analysts say is important for making the drone industry more resilient.
民主国家要团结去生产这些防卫装备，那这样就可以快速的让我们这些民主国家有更强大的防卫能力。所以现在大疆的这无人机在全球范围里面被认为治安威胁越来越明显的情况，我想台湾无人机的厂商的机会就会就是更加巩固了。
The park's first components and drones are set to roll off the assembly line in 2027. Taiwan's Mainland Affairs Council is warning people against working with the Chinese government. That's after Beijing said it received tens of thousands of emails reporting, quote, acts of Taiwanese independence.
这是典型的跨境镇压了哈，然后想要扰乱台湾的民心，然后试图制造社会的矛盾。那我们对于任何人如果去协助做这些检举的活动， 提供任何资料的话，我们都会依法处理。
In March, China's Taiwan Affairs Office set up an email hotline for reporting what it calls Taiwanese independence activities. Beijing claims Taiwan as its own and considers such activities illegal. It's part of mounting efforts by China to intimidate Taiwanese citizens. Earlier this month, it issued bounties for 2 Taiwanese influencers and opened an investigation into a Taiwanese lawmaker for, quote, separatism. Taiwan's foreign ministry also responded to China's most recent statement, saying Beijing has no jurisdiction over the people of Taiwan. A group of Taiwanese legislators has met with the president of Paraguay, one of Taiwan's diplomatic allies. Taiwan's delegation says Paraguayan President Santiago Peña emphasized the 2 countries' shared values, while Taiwan lawmakers expressed hopes for more economic and trade cooperation. The meetings come as one Paraguayan lawmaker recently suggested that the country should consider switching diplomatic relations to Beijing. In response, Taiwan's foreign ministry emphasized these kinds of views on China are a minority among Paraguayan lawmakers. Taiwan will continue communicating to politicians who might have unrealistic expectations for China. Tech giant Google is deepening its roots in Taiwan with a new Taipei R&D center, which opened Thursday. The company says the new cloud and AI hardware engineering hub is the largest outside the U.S. Reporter Chris Gorin was at the opening.
Here in Taipei's Shilin district, tech giant Google has just opened a new R&D center, cementing Taiwan's status as the company's largest AI hardware engineering hub outside the U.S. This is one of a growing number of Google facilities across Taiwan. Its executives say the new location in the capital will focus heavily on cloud and AI infrastructure development.
This new center is more than an office to us. To us, it represents an important pillar of Google's AI infrastructure engineering strategy. It's where our engineers, our supply chain experts, our world-leading partners, and our data center operations all come together.
Other guests at the opening include the U.S. representative to Taiwan, Raymond Green, and Taiwan President Lai Ching-te, who says the new office will bolster U.S.-Taiwan relations.
I'm confident that this center will help foster Taiwan-U.S. industrial exchanges and bolster Taiwan's economy. It will also give U.S. industry a trustworthy R&D and supply base in Asia.
Google is just the latest global tech heavyweight to expand its presence in Taiwan. Just a short drive from here, chipmaker Nvidia is establishing its own new regional headquarters, while Amazon Web Services and AMD are also ramping up operations in the country. And with this new opening, Google is betting that Taiwan's engineering talent is just as important to the future of AI as its chips. Justin Wu, Ai Chi, and Chris Gorin in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
The U.S. and Saudi Arabia are working to deepen ties, announcing new economic partnerships and investment projects. It comes as the Gulf Kingdom looks to become an AI powerhouse and shed its dependence on oil exports. 2 titans of the tech world share a stage, mapping out future partnership plans with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Tesla CEO Elon Musk says he will build a massive data center in the kingdom, while Nvidia founder Jensen Huang says his company's top-of-the-line Blackwell superchips will power the project. Spearheading the ambitious investment on the Saudi side is government-backed AI startup Humane. While the company is still in its infancy, Huang seems certain it shows promise.
Could you imagine a startup company, approximately $0 billion in revenues, now going to build a data center for Elon? 500 megawatts is gigantic. This company is off the charts.
Huang's comments come as Saudi Arabian Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is on a trip to the U.S. to court deals with tech firms, part of efforts to wean his country off its economic dependence on oil exports. Meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump, he's made some big promises.
I believe, Mr. President, today and tomorrow we're going to announce that we are going to increase that $600 billion to almost $1 trillion of investment, real investment and real opportunity by details in many areas.
That figure aligns with Trump's efforts to deepen ties with Saudi Arabia. It's a reversal from his predecessor, Joe Biden, who vowed to make the kingdom a pariah over its human rights record. Earlier this week, Trump agreed to sell Riyadh highly coveted F-35 fighter jets. Then, while answering questions at the White House, the president also revealed plans to authorize export licenses for advanced semiconductors to the country. Those include Nvidia's cutting-edge Blackwell chips, which are currently under tight export controls.
Have you approved the export licenses for advanced chips to Saudi Arabia? The export licenses?
We are working on that. We're negotiating that right now.
As the world rushes to capitalize on the AI boom, Saudi Arabia offers U.S. firms two things vital for the industry: space and energy. Meanwhile, Trump is getting something his administration has made a priority: substantial investment in the United States. Leon Lien, Yuan Duan, and Leslie Liao for TaiwanPlus. Nvidia says its third quarter revenue surged more than 60% to reach $57 billion US. In its latest earnings report, the U.S. chipmaker attributed the sharp jump to continued booming demand for AI, despite recent worries of a market bubble. CEO Jensen Huang said the global AI ecosystem is scaling fast and described sales of the firm's top-end Blackwell chips as, quote, off the charts. Nvidia produces most of its chips in Taiwan, and the country's flagship TAIEX stock market opened sharply higher following the news. Nvidia's stock was also up over 5% in after-hours trading. To find out what Nvidia's most recent earnings report means for AI in Taiwan, our reporter Ai Chi spoke with Daniel Chen. He's a senior analyst from the research department at the Capital Group's Capital Investment Management Corporation.
Nvidia has just reported a surge in revenue for Q3. What does this say about the state of AI?
它这个反映这个 AI 业务的这个资料中心业务近2年来，其实是连续不断的呈现一个季成长态势。而整个 CSP 就是他们各自发展这个自研的 ASIC 晶片的这个投片量也有出现，就是往后来看也出现强劲的成长。所以可以从这些角度来看到，就是整个 AI 产业目前仍是一个比较蓬勃发展的这个状况。
What does Nvidia sustained growth mean for Taiwan's tech industry?
以结论来说，一定是非常正面的益助了。因为其实可以看到，台湾供应链跟 Nvidia 来说，算是一个非常紧密合作的关系。就台湾不论是上游的这个半导体的厂商，又或是到这个中下游这种零组件的供应商，以及最后这种系统组装厂商或是这种品牌厂，可以看到说，就是我们台厂来说的话，其实就是随着 Nvidia 的持续成长。那后续的展望其实都算是蛮强劲的，这也是可以支撑这个台湾供应链在往后可能1-2年的业绩的主要来源。
This earnings report seems to have come some worries about a possible AI bubble. What are your thoughts about where the industry is headed?
其实我们透过就是供应链实际上访查可以发现，就是需求的贡献，除了现在大家所关注的这个所谓的4大 CSP 需求很强以外，其实2线的云端厂商。或是这些算力的租赁业者，或者像是主权 AI 啊、企业端的需求，其实都有开始慢慢的浮现起来，然后也去增添这个需求延续性。而现在其实，在 AI 的这个发展状况下来说的话，其实我们正经历的就是最前端的这个基础建设的快速部署的阶段。但我自己会觉得说，我们现在在前期就有这种担忧的话，其实就会去阻止这个所谓的泡沫产生。
That was Daniel Chen, senior analyst from the Capital Group. Coming up after the break.
That was the point that we feel like, oh my God, this is a story we want to tell.
An award-winning Taiwanese movie looks to dazzle at this year's Golden Horse Film Festival.
The CPBL season may have ended, but in Taiwan, baseball never sleeps.
在练习的时候，不管爱质疑至上，做到99分你都不要，就那么一点点的小缺点，你马上要盖过。这个是练习。那比赛一个合理是28分，练习就要求自己做到100。
From the diamond to the dome, the countdown to the 2026 World Baseball Classic has already begun. Team Taiwan's next chapter starts now as new talents rise and seasoned veterans prepare to take on the world.
希望说在年底我们可以选出一个就是 是团队默契跟实力坚强的一个球队，然后尽力的去打他们的比赛这样子。
The season never ends when it's game on Taiwan. Stay tuned. The next battle begins now.
你经历过人生的话，你发现说，我们大部分都是爱美的。
我自己少遇见一朵花，我可能就不是这个样子。
开始思考什么叫做一个本土性，
大声的唱出来说我是台湾人。
At Connected, we believe in the power of dialogue.
Taipei 101 station.
It's not just about the headlines, it's about finding common ground. Join the conversation.
Global semiconductor
administrations.
Connected on TaiwanPlus.
Welcome back. You're watching Taiwan Plus News. 2 people have been arrested for gross negligence after a ferry ran aground near South Korea's southwestern coast. The incident revived painful memories for some people. Tiffany Wong has more.
Getting safely to shore. All 267 passengers on this stranded ferry in South Korea were rescued on Thursday morning. The ferry was en route from Jeju Island to Mokpo on the country's southwestern coast when it suddenly ran aground the night before. Although everyone survived, it brought back memories of 2014 when the ferry MV Sewol capsized and sank on its way to Jeju. Over 300 people, including hundreds of school children, died in that incident.
I thought I might die. The sound was too loud. It sounded like a big accident. But having seen the Seoul ferry, I knew that in situations like this, you have to stay calm, move outside, wear a life jacket, and wait. It seems like a lot of people did the same.
The Coast Guard is now investigating what caused the 26,000-ton vessel to get stuck on the shores of a rocky, uninhabited island. The ship's first officer and an Indonesian crew member have been arrested for suspected gross negligence. A preliminary investigation suggested that they had let the ship run on autopilot, and the first officer was using his cell phone during a segment that required manual navigation.
As for the cause of the accident, further investigation is required. However, at this time, we preliminarily assess it to be due to negligence by the captain or the navigating officer.
The damaged ship has been towed ashore, but questions still remain about who is responsible for the grounding. Patrick Chen and Tiffany Wong for Taiwan Plus.
In the Philippines, a former mayor with a forged nationality has been sentenced to life in prison for human trafficking. Alice Guo, a Chinese national who posed as a Filipina to run for mayor, was found guilty of overseeing a Chinese-run online gambling center. More than 700 people, including some Taiwanese, were forced to run scams at the center or be tortured. Guo was sentenced along with 7 others. All 8 were given life sentences. The Golden Horse Awards, the Oscars of the Chinese language cinema world, will take place this weekend. Ahead of the ceremony, Taiwan Plus spoke to Best New Director nominee Tsou Shih-ching, where she talks about her directorial debut, Left-Handed Girl, and what the film means to her.
我觉得这些很奇妙。
The new film Left-Handed Girl has emerged as the dark horse at this year's Golden Horse Film Festival, racking up a total of 9 nominations. The director behind the magic, Tsou Shih-ching, sits down with Taiwan Plus to talk about the making of her solo directorial debut. The idea originally came from her grandfather, who scolded her for using her left hand, a Taiwanese superstition that sees it as the devil's hand. It's a concept Tsou thinks means more than just the limb itself.
Especially when I grew up in Taiwan, it was, the only thing you have to do is obey the order. You are not allowed to think. You are not allowed to be an individual.
But for girls and women in Taiwan, Tsou says there are many more of these unwritten rules that society tells them to follow, such as women needing to get married one day, take care of their husbands, and accept favoritism towards sons over daughters. She has watched these stories play out in her own family and has seen how they often pit women against each other.
They will be like talking about, oh, the grandmother treat the other sister better, and they always hold grudges. It's really funny. Like they're all like very in their 60s, 70s. There are a lot of things unsaid, unspoken, but you can't challenge it because that's just part of the culture, right? So a lot of time, I think showing is better than talking about it. That's why I always say I make this film almost like I'm just trying to make a documentary about Taiwan society.
Through Tsou's eyes, the audience follows three protagonists: a frustrated mother who surrendered to rules, a rebellious older daughter eager to break free, and a naive younger daughter. They're all on a journey to find a place where they belong and to reconcile with their troubled past. The story had been in the making for more than 2 decades. Over the years, Tsou worked with her long-term collaborator and Oscar-winning director Sean Baker, who co-wrote and edited this film. The two gathered inspirations from Tsou's personal life, and their epiphany came one night in Tonghua Night Market in downtown Taipei.
We ran into this little girl with her mom in the night market. So I think that was the point that we feel like, oh my God, this is a story we want to tell, and this is the real phototype characters. Every year I will come back home and I'll visit the night market family. So I kind of, every time I come back, I will get the updates, and also I will add like stories in there. He basically just put in his own view when he reacted the film. So I think everything, that's why a lot of people think this doesn't look like a Taiwanese movie.
The film premiered at the 2025 Cannes Film Festival and went on to win many international accolades since its release. But Tsou says premiering it in Taiwan is the most nerve-wracking.
Taiwanese audience is the most difficult. Like, it's hard to please, because they are the most critical audience as well, because this is where they live. This is why that's basically their life. So for them to resonate with it, for them to kind of agree with it, I'm really, really proud.
Left-Handed Girl has been nominated in 9 categories, such as Best Picture, Best New Director, and Best Supporting Actors. While the film awaits the results this weekend, its wider release will likely attract many more viewers worldwide. Yisun Chen, Sandy Chi, and Irene Lin for TaiwanPlus.
Once part of Japan's notorious criminal underworld, Nishimura Mako is one of only a handful of women ever to join the Yakuza. Now, after leaving that life behind, she's helping others find their way out too. Bryn Thomas reports.
Tatted up and missing a pinky, the markers of a life in Japan's underworld. Nishimura Mako was the first woman to be flagged by police as a member of the country's mafia, the Yakuza. She's one of only a handful of women ever to join the ranks of a notorious organized crime syndicate, and as a woman, her path into the group was anything but easy.
They would look down on me just because I was a woman, which I hated. So I basically lived as a man. Like I said, they would look down on women.
Be it in human and drug trafficking, extortion, or fraud, the Yakuza make their money through crime. Nishimura had to act like her male counterparts to earn respect.
I learned to speak, look, and fight like a man, trying to be as Yakuza-like and manly as my boss at the time.
But the criminal empire she joined is now shrinking, down from nearly 200,000 members at its peak in 1963 to just under 20,000 now, the lowest numbers since records began.
There used to be businesses and citizens willing to trade with us. But nowadays, they know any such association would put their businesses at risk. So everyone is staying away from the Yakuza.
Tougher anti-mafia laws and police crackdowns have made it harder for the Yakuza to operate. With membership dropping, Nishimura, now 58, sees a future without the syndicate.
I think Yakuza will keep shrinking. I hope they will go extinct.
Now retired from crime, she's rebuilding her life and helping others do the same, guiding former gangsters through the same struggles she faced, learning how to live like law-abiding citizens again.
I'm trying to run this nonprofit for ex-criminals. So former Yakuza feel more at ease hanging out here than with the criminal bunch from their past.
Once feared in the world of organized crime, Nishimura Mako now finds purpose in helping others walk away from it, moving into the light as the notorious gangs fade into the shadows of history. Hank Xu and Bryn Thomas for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan continued to add to its medal count at the Tokyo Deaf Olympics on Thursday. Bowlers Ling Ya-qing and Chen Yi-miao each took bronze in the women's single event, the first medals for the country's bowling team at this year's Games. Taiwan has now won a total of 7 medals at the Games, 3 silvers and 4 bronzes. Thank you for watching TaiwanPlus News. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we leave you with an international performance collaboration led by the Australian dance group Chunky Move. The show explores a vision of machine mysticism. I'm Leslie Liao. Take care and see you next time.